Meanwhile, in Washington, President Trump and Republicans are taking a victory lap after Senate Democrats caved Friday on their spending standoff and voted to avert a government shutdown.
Yeah, this driving the left even further apart, with some even calling on Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to primary Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Matt Finn joins us live from West Palm Beach with more. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning to you guys. So we avoided that government shutdown yesterday. So then President Trump carries on with his plans to spend the weekend here at Mar-a-Lago, arriving in Florida with Elon Musk around 8 p.m. last night. President Trump and Republicans showing unity with their budget victory, but it highlighted a wedge between Democrats. Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries slammed the bill as partisan. That's to be expected. But then Jeffries refused to answer a reporter's direct question about whether he's lost faith in Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who was among 9 other Democrats who voted to approve the Republican stopgap bill that would fund the government until September.
Our caucus members have 2 bad choices. Different senators will come down on different sides of the question, but that does not mean that any Senate Democrat supports a shutdown. Whatever the outcome, our caucus will be united in our determination to continue the long-term fight to stop Donald Trump's dangerous war on our democracy and on America's working families.
So Schumer and 9 other Democrats voted to block filibuster and advance the Republican spending bill, a move that President Trump praised, saying he appreciates Senator Schumer and thinks he did the right thing. So now Democrats are pushing their anti-Trump, anti-DOJ message outside of Washington, hosting a series of people's town halls across the country, from Arizona to Florida, including one here in Pinellas County today at 5 p.m. in the 13th Congressional District. And Kamala Harris's former VP pick, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, is hosting a town hall today with Nebraska's Democrats in Omaha. Now back live here in Florida. The White House Press Bowl is setting up at Trump International Golf Course, where we expect to possibly see the president golfing today. We'll keep you updated from Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach. Back to you guys in New York.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Sure.
Hey, you guys, before we get to the infighting on the Democrats, can we just get a little shot of cuteness? Because Donald Trump, before he left to West Palm, brought little Lex with him. Do we have that video? Because I just thought it was so adorable. They're pulling it up right now because it's adorable, and everyone's talking about it. It's kind of blowing up on social media. Look at that.
There he is.
Look.
That's so great. He looks like a happy grandpa there. That's not even his grandkid, but
No, it's maybe an adopted grandkid.
yeah, exactly.
So is that the child that's always on Elon's shoulders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I thought. Yeah.
That's little Lex.
That kid is not going to grow up in reality at all.
You see, he did the X and then pointed to him. Yeah, that's who that is. That's so
awesome,
great.
though.
But you know, it really is amazing to look at.
It's a very kid-friendly White House. I'm just going to say, it's very kid-friendly.
Well, I mean, the vice president has young kids.
Yeah, and you see kids all the time in there.
And of course, that scene where in the Oval Office, completely scripted by Donald Trump, where he gathered all the children around him to sign the
the little girls?
The no men and women girls sports. It was such a wholesome, beautiful scene, and it's a reminder that that guy right there has an eye for theatrics, an eye for TV, an eye for the visual, and it's why he connects so powerfully with. That's awesome.
I can't, you guys. I can't.
No,
it's just too
much
much cuteness. It's just too much.
Joe Biden
you're
could
so
never.
You're so right about what you said with that image of the little girls around him, and just the message it sent to the world of like we're turning the page on all this craziness. But he also did it at the joint session of Congress. And I think it was the most, frankly to me, the most important line in that entire address, and it was a long one. He said to the children of America, God made you perfectly. You are perfect exactly the way God made you.
So beautiful.
What a beautiful message from the president. Now, let's get to the fighting.
Well, that issue you're talking about males in women's sports, that's an 80-20 issue, right?
Yeah.
But it's in America among people. But in Congress, apparently it's a 50-50 issue because Democrats seem to still want to support that. Or maybe they are starting to divide up, just not over that issue. Maybe they're starting to divide up over how much money they want to spend.
They are united in that, Joey.
Yeah.
They're not united on whether they're willing to shut the government down to do it, because usually the people who shut the government down have another political problem on their hands, right? Here's Hakeem Jeffries. He's dodging questions about Schumer, who is the one who helped pass this in the Senate.
For new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Have you lost confidence in him, the fact that you guys see this so differently?
Next question.
Mr. Leader, why were you afraid to say anything about Schumer when you were asked?
Don't characterize. No. Do not characterize.
No, my question was, why are you afraid to say anything?
Do not characterize my remarks. I'm not afraid about anything. Anything.
But you went to another question.
Anything. I said, I was very clear that we look forward to working with every single one of our Senate Democratic colleagues, every single one of them, to push back against the Trump administration.
So put your journalist hat on, Charlie. What do you make of that exchange?
You know, we've seen a lot of shutdowns, and every shutdown, it doesn't matter whose fault it really is, every shutdown gets blamed on Republicans.
Yeah.
And this is the first time in my memory where you have a potential government shutdown and Republicans managed to pin the blame, in this case where it belonged, on Chuck Schumer and Democrats. And they freaked out and they blinked. They had no good options, and they deserted the field. They couldn't even stand and fight for it.
It's very indicative of what that fight is. A good example, I've got Warnock and Ossoff in Georgia. They're very liberal, very progressive. That's what they are. But look at how they're voting right now. Because Georgia's turned very red. It's always been red, but that one little slip up there.
So how did Warnock vote on that one?
I don't know how. I think we were going to show who voted which way.
Let's
saw
do that.
I think we have it. If we don't, we'll talk about it in the next time we talk about this. But but I was talking about, I can't remember.
Those
There
are
we
the
go.
ones.
So those are the ones who voted to break the filibuster. But
No, that's really interesting. So you've got neither of them are up on that, voted to break the filibuster on that, which is very significant, because voting to break the filibuster is actually, that's a free vote. I mean, you as a Democrat,
you can go back and vote against.
Yeah, you can, exactly. Every one of these people are going to vote against it, but you can just vote to break
the reconciliation.
you can vote to break the filibuster and then vote against the bill itself.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's really interesting because, as you point out, Georgia should not be represented by two left-wing Democrats.
No, in the same election.
Warnock's like a commie. Literally.
If you're a Georgian, you got a lot of problems with Warnock. The point here is, if you're those people, Ossoff and Warnock, do you swing right like Bill Clinton in the 90s? Or do you toe the line that got you there, that's going to get you all the money in your next election? And if you do, you're probably not going to stay there. I don't think the country stops swinging middle or even right because DOJ is cutting some jobs from the federal government. I don't know what their line of attack is, and that's what they're arguing about.
Or how about you just man the middle ground and govern with common sense?
None of them are there.
They're not there.
They've ridden the wave left this whole time.
Yeah.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.